Hello everyone, this is me, Replica Jack, and we are in a very good spot. We have a river and the sun right there. Yeah, pretty good enough to build Legos and enjoy the view. And I was just so much focused on just enjoying the view that I forgot that I wanted to make a video. So I already opened the box and we already have those awful things. So those awful things are called stickers. So of course we're going to not use them at all. And I'm going to put them back in the box. We have 4 bags to build this marvelous set, which is again a Ferrari, full change, of course. I really like the endurance runs of Le Mans, for instance, and that's what this car is doing. Oh, hello, bird. Yes, what can I do for you? No, that's not food. Lovely. So, of course, as always, we have a minifig, and I'm going to build this minifig. Hello, bird again. Yes, what can I do for you? That's not food. I'm sorry, that's not food. That's not food. That's not food. Go away. Why are there 2 of them now? They think that my Legos are food. No, it doesn't even look like food. Like, tell me how that looks like food. Now I'm surrounded by birds. I don't think you can see it with the camera, but I promise you I am surrounded 3 birds staring around me. Yeah, that's fine, thank you. I haven't gotten you food, but next time I come here I can get you food if you want. I don't know if it's legal, I will have to check out first. The point was... Yeah, no, that's not food. You want to try? Try. That's not food. You will not be able to eat anything. Endurance runs, they're much more fun, right? At least that's the feeling I got. Rally. Oh, rally is so much fun to watch. So tense, so much adrenaline. Well, with Formula 1, I mean, there's still like this intense adrenaline because of the speed, of course. At least in the video that we are watching, and I literally have 2 birds staring at me. In the video that we are watching when it's live, you know, it gets much less this intense feeling that other sports such as endurance or rally have, which is why I have, of course, a preference for rally personally, and I do like endurance a lot, which is also why I bought this car, and I love the design. And Lego did actually a Porsche of endurance Porsche, but the design was just awful in comparison to the real, model. So I'm a bit disappointed with that one, so that's why I haven't built it. Good thing is there's too much sun. Bad thing is that there's so much sun that I can't really see properly or look at the pieces. I've just finished a book, and the issue is that I struggle, to move on from that book. I don't know if it makes the same effect for you, but like whenever I read a book, of course I spend much more time on a book than, for instance, on a movie. But whenever I will finish a book, I have this feeling of I struggle to get back into reality. You see what I mean? Oh, and now my hairs are so messy because of the wind. That's so lovely. Like, you can make perfect haircut. Just have a bit of wind and then boom. And I know there are products for the hairs, but I like to keep my hair natural, if you don't mind. Yeah, I have like this feeling of withdrawal after you finish a book, because like you miss it. At the same time, it's finished, it's over, but you miss it so much. It's just such a weird feeling, but I don't know how to explain it better than that. And I think there's not much that can be done, sadly, except like if there is a following up book, of course. But it's just you were so intensely into the book, that you struggle to pass to something else. I don't really get that feeling with movies, fortunately. I mean, it depends, but like not as strong at all. And I feel, am I blind? I feel like I'm missing a piece. Oh, there we go. It was right under there. Just books being books. So it's terrible because I feel like books also have this profound effect which really takes you into another world mentally, because you need to project, because you need to be the one imagining what is being described, because you need also, when there's a persona which isn't necessarily well described or else, you are the one which need to make up for it with your imagination. It requires much more of your brain and process rather than a movie, basically. In my opinion, it makes you invested even more within the universe. And I was like, okay, I was like, have I missed a step? Because I see plenty of pieces, and I'm like, yes, I did miss a page. That's why there were still pieces missing while I was ready to go to stage 2. Yeah, that many pieces remaining was not normal. So stage 1, sorry, is just that. Oh yeah, because you can see the build. This setup is very beautiful for me because I get to enjoy the view and the river, but you see nothing. I mean, you see me, which is good enough, right? You don't need to see anything else, of course. That's my video, that's kind of the point, right? I guess I can do that. And I speak like that, and it's very convenient. I'm not going to ruin my head. Oh yeah, I'm willing to make sacrifice for my YouTube channel, but not that much. Come on, bag number 2. There we go. So yeah, I think that's the explanation as to why we are so much interested or like deep into a book whenever we read one. It forces you to think more, which I think also is an advantage. And why you birds are coming back? I haven't asked you for anything. I'm just chilling and building, and no, you're not going to eat anything. I mean, it's very colorful, that's right. What do you want with the car? That's just a car. Oh, and how do you pronounce car? Because I say car. Whenever I was traveling, there was somebody making fun of me, being like, "Oh, you're so posh. You say car. Like you have an English accent." I don't know if I have an English accent. You tell me. And they were like, it's not car, it's car. It wasn't exactly like that, but it was something like car. It was car. It's car. Yeah, rah, 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 rah. And I'm not certain. I like the car. That's always how I said it, I guess. So like, I'm interested. How do you say car? What's your pronunciation? English is heavily wealthy in terms of accents. Like, you have such crazy accents. And sometimes there are accents which I respect, of course. Profoundly, I respect your accent. I just cannot bother to understand you. It's not even that I do not bother. It's just I try to understand you, but I just cannot understand you. So sometimes I will be like, "Oh, sorry, what do you say? Could you repeat, please?" And the person just repeats, and I still do not understand. And I feel super dumb to not understand what they say. So I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I absolutely understood nothing, right? But I pretend, pretend, that's how it works." And now I don't do that with all the accents, but some accents are just so strong. Like the New Zealandese accent is just stunningly smooth, but like they speak in their beer. That's how we will say it in French. Like they don't really have a strong voice where they really mean the word. They're just eating the word. I just struggle each time to understand it, and it is just very, very problematic for me. So most of the time whenever I discuss with New Zealandese, I make so much effort to try to understand them, and I think that I am the one not speaking English. Probably that is too, but I just try so hard, and eventually sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I don't understand anything, but okay, sure, whatever you say. And I feel like grandpa. There are some accents that are very hard for me to comprehend. I guess you can say that in any language, including German. I've had friends which speak German, and I have had other friends which speak Swiss German. Now you will think that the German and the Swiss German will be able to comprehend. However, plot twist, they cannot comprehend oneself. I had those people meeting, and they will speak English, and I was like, "Well, guys, you can speak another English. You can speak another language than English, because you two share German, right?" And they were like, "No, but we don't speak the same German." And I'm like, "What do you mean you don't speak the same German? Like the accent is just too strong for one of you or for you two." They were like, "No, not really. It's more that we cannot comprehend one another because these are too distinctive." So now that this was explained, I just cannot comprehend still why. Oh, now there's Big Bird coming. Lovely. Do not try to bother me, Big Bird, and we will be fine. Do not come here. There you go. Go on this way. Yeah. Pass. I'm just keeping an eye on him. Fortunately, he won't try to strike me down. Oh, there we go, the first sticker that we need to put in. We need to put it on this piece, but we're not going to do absolutely a thing. Because, of course, we hate stickers. And we want everybody to know that. So we're not going to continue putting any stickers on, and we're just going to boycott this silly movement of putting stickers. I rather like the technique that they've been using here. If you can see, the white panel is going over there. And so everything, the angle from this view is perfect. And they're just putting on... Please go away, bird. They're just putting on this piece, just on top of it, there. Makes this nice view, which is just perfect because there's no gap absolutely. What I like also with this idea of building in open air is just to take a deep breath in fresh air and just have another excuse for going out rather than just going for a walk, etc. Sometimes it can be boring. You can take a book, as we've mentioned, or you can just also Lego and just sit somewhere. Make sure you don't lose any parts, of course, and just enjoy the time there. Yet another sticker to ignore. I love this task. Ignoring stickers is one of my specialty. If you cannot feel your leg, then, well, maybe you just lost them. Imagine that will be... Is that what it feels like to be 80 years old? I hope not. If one day I'm 80 years old, I hope my legs will feel better than that right now. I hope that we can get hold just fine. And we just finished the second bag, and we're already on the third bag. Damn. And there are just 5 bags. That's actually pretty fast to build. Like, we just take less than 10 minutes per bag. Huh? Yeah, I make funny noise with my mouth, but that's not on purpose. Yeah, I really can feel my legs. That's a lovely experience. I've been sitting wrong, of course, so I can only blame myself. Yes, I do have a pink pants, by the way. I just adore this color. Pink is just so wonderful. Such a wonderful color. I miss the fact that we don't have more color, generally speaking, in the clothes. At least for the men. So that's why I try to push myself to have some color. Plus, it's making you distinctive. I mean, depends on the event or the occasion of why you dress, of course. But generally, yeah, always a good reason to have some colors on. And second of all, well, pink is just such a wonderful color. Actually, when I was a kid, I loved Mace Windu. You know, the Master Jedi, Mace Windu when I was 7 years old, 6 years old, something like that. The only reason why he was my favorite Jedi was because he had a purple lightsaber. That was the only criteria on which I based my decision for, is it my favorite Star Wars character? Is it my favorite Jedi? Yes, because he have a purple lightsaber. That's just it. You may have all the charisma in the world, you may be the most beautiful Jedi, you may have the fanciest clothes, you don't have a lightsaber that is purple, sorry, but you don't matter to me. Literally, you're not a good Jedi. When I think about this is quite silly, but to this day, Mace Windu is still my favorite Jedi, not only because he have a purple lightsaber, of course, that helps. It's funny to think that originally he was only my favorite Jedi because of the color of his lightsaber. That's man, quite something. And as a matter of fact, I love this character so much that at one point we got a cat in the family, the abandoned cat, and so we picked him up. My parents were like, well, how should we name him? And for me, of course, there was an obvious name coming to mind, which is, okay, we should name him Mace Windu. Hear me out. We should name our cat Mace Windu. And ultimately, they picked up the name of Oscar. Come on, I don't mind. If you name Oscar, sorry in advance, but it's a boring name in comparison to Mace Windu. Like, sorry, you got to be named Mace Windu or Oscar, you pick Mace Windu. That's just it. That's just a law of the universe. They decided it will be Oscar, so I was of course heavily annoyed as a kid. I will just keep calling him Mace Windu because of course I was stubborn. I'm totally not stubborn still to this day. It was a lovely cat. Not because he was named Mace Windu, of course. I think that did help that he was named Mace Windu. You might think, oh well, it's because you were a kid that you proposed that. Well, to this day, if I have a cat, I might name him Mace Windu again, you know, because it's such a great name. And sorry, but you cannot disagree with me. Okay, now we can go to bag number 4 already. So the car is looking like this, which is a good start. Back then I had also another cat, which was not named Luke Skywalker. He had already been named when we got him, sadly enough. Otherwise, I think I might have picked the name of, yeah, Luke Skywalker seems decent, you know. Mace Windu and Luke Skywalker, good names for cats, right? And this one was just so sweet and so, he still like remained kind of small, which was weird enough because no matter how much he ate, he was just... Okay, it was just a flying duck just over the river. Yeah. And it was very beautiful to see it. You really missed something. You should have been there, just watching the view. Yeah, you missed something. Too bad. Important point is Legos, however, right? No matter how much he ate, it was just like always small. He remained small. He always will climb on me, just like kittens do. But he was still like a full grown out adult. He will climb on me and he will come on my shoulder. And maybe I was, I don't know, 8 years old. It was just so cute because he will be my parrot. My parrot, yeah. And it was just very fancy to have basically a cat parrot. Imagine the aura that you got because you have a cat parrot on you and he will just look around like that and not move, and I could just like, you know, walk around, do whatever activity I needed to do, and he will just stay on me. And you know, as a kid I thought it was normal, but looking back, I haven't seen any cat doing that for now. Maybe it exists, probably it exists, but not that common. I was really lucky with that cutie. I really enjoy this car because so far we don't have any sticker to put, of course, that's a decision that we made, but also we don't have any printed parts. And you know, last time we built a F1 Ferrari, we had printed parts, which was annoying because sometimes we did have like some corporation logo and sometimes not, but we didn't get to choose because there were some printed parts, and so of course if they're printed you can't remove the print on the parts. I mean, you could technically, but it will be really annoying to do. So this time we're pretty lucky because we got no printed parts. We just have a car which will be entirely red, black and yellow because those are the Ferrari colors. At least the building experience is very easy, very pleasant in comparison to the Formula 1. You know, those are just mostly basic pieces that we are used to see. The final results look stunning, and maybe I will use it in a future creation where we might need cars running around. Okay, now that's fancy. For the engine, the motors, basically we have this piece which is a golden ingot, and we just use him, I suspect, for being part of the engine, which is nice looking and original. I don't think that in real life they use gold for the engine. I mean, I know Ferrari have a reputation of being wealthy and, you know, expensive and a luxury, but to use for competition golden ingots might be a bit too much in real life, especially since I suspect they want the vehicle to be as light as possible. But it will be fun in real life. Like, imagine you have a car which have just like on the engine just 2 golden ingots, and what do? Nothing. It's just for internal decoration. You're not even seeing it, but it's just the day you want to open to see the engine, well, you just see them. And we're already finished bag number 4. Damn, it goes pretty fast as a matter of fact. So far the car looks like this, which of course is missing quite essential elements. Oh, actually there's one printed part, which is this one, the tile on the side. You can see a very thin white line, sorry, white lie. Yeah, it's maybe a lie. Is this printed part a lie? Maybe. So I went to Singapore once, and so I picked up a place for a gastronomy tour. So basically just a food tour, but just a bit more fancy, supposedly, because there are things which were recognized by Michelin. So I was like, you know what? Why not try, you know, to have some really excellent local dishes. Plus it's a local which will present it. So I went in there, and of course, as usual, when you do that, you expect a bunch of tourists, because who else will want to try the local dish? Certainly not the locals, right? And so I'm just going around discussing with everybody as always. Eventually there's a girl. I asked her, oh well, where are you from? And she's like, well, I'm from Singapore. And I was like, oh okay, so what are you doing here? I mean, are you training? Because you know, if you're doing this tour, it's maybe that you want to train, you know, to be a guide for yourself or something. And she was like, oh no, I just want to try the local dish. Okay, why is that? And she's like, because each time I go, there's so many people that I just can never go. Now that makes sense, and I respect that. As a Frenchman, I've lived near Paris for many years, and I've never ever been on the Eiffel Tower. I've been close to it, actually not that close, passed by, you know, but I never been in the Eiffel Tower. So I was like, yeah, makes sense. And then she proceeded to explain to me that if you want to go in, generally at rush hour, or like beyond the visit that we were doing with a guide, which has pre-arranged everything, you will just wait for so long that it will not be sustainable. So I respect that, and I'm like, well, maybe not one day I need to pay a guide to get rapidly in the Eiffel Tower, to just climb on it and see how it goes, because that's something to try maybe as a French person. That part is just so fancy, this one. Look at this. So it's just basically that, and it looks so good. Congratulations to the designer. So actually we got a couple printed parts, but those aren't that annoying, because if you disassemble the vehicle, you can still use those printed parts for other things. So namely this part right there, you can see this one is printed red right there, and then this one you can see on the other side is printed here, which is pretty good and pretty useful, and I just love the technique for that. It just looks so smooth and very clean. And I love the shape of those cars which do endurance runs, because they just so sleek. Ta-da! The design is just so sleek. Very sharp looking also at the end. This is printed, of course, and definitely going to be used in a future creation. And I just love the front mirrors. They should have been a bit more wide, you know, to respect like this. You can see it's a bit wider, slightly wider than this, of course. Maybe in real life it's exactly like that, so, but it's just in terms of design, yeah, very enjoyable. If those were the same width than both of them. And of course it's very flat there too, because of course those cars, there are no bumps on the road that those cars drive. So well, with that said, that's it for this car. Hope that you enjoy this creation as much as I did. Now I have no idea who this person is, but probably a very famous person. And see you for another video as we finish this marvelous creation, and may the force be with you always.